So hi guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how's it going? So listen, it's Stefan here, co-founder of EstroHaze, and I'm having the pleasure of talking with Darby Cox and Sean
Hi.
Ging. Am I saying your last name right? Ging?
Yeah, gang.
Mhm.
Smoke Cartel, online retailer and smoke accessories, kind of like glassware shop based in Savannah, Georgia. So hi again.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us.
We really appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining me. So, just a little backstory, guys. I recently got a huge, beautiful, awesome package from Smoke Cartel, like delivered to EstroHaze, and we did this whole unboxing. Hope you didn't miss it because it was a lot of fun.
Oh,
It
I
was
watched
beautiful.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys immediately intrigued.
Everybody's reaction was great on the video.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we loved it.
Immediately intrigued just by your presentation and the quality of the products. Just got one here, this Georgia peach. Oh, this
We love that one.
of course, this is one of the faves. So just wanted, and I didn't
That was Sean's design.
Oh, wow! Here we have a fancy one here, Sean.
Woo.
I like to think I didn't go to art school for nothing. So
Okay, it paid off. See, these things pay
Yeah,
off
see?
in the most creative ways. So, yeah, I immediately became intrigued by you guys, just by your presentation and the quality and everything, and I learned that you guys have a lot going on. So I definitely wanted to chat with you and just share a little bit with our audience just about entrepreneurship and growth and sustainability and like your new excitingness that happened with you guys going public. So I definitely want to just talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So to start is just tell us a little bit about like how you guys got started, why Savannah, like how did this even come about?
So my favorite way to talk about how we got started is, Sean and I are not only business partners, but life partners. And so we'd been dating for a while prior to Smoke Cartel forming. And we both were kind of running our own separate companies. I was working in the gardening space, and Sean had just sold off a predictive analytics company that he'd been working on to Target. And he was kind of messing around doing some artistic stuff. And one day he turned to me. He said, Darby, Colorado just legalized. There's no really online head shops that are USA based in the market right now. I'm going to sell bongs. And, I grew up in the Bible Belt South, born and raised Southern by the grace of God. And down here, we call it the devil's lettuce.
Out to the South, shout out.
But yeah, we called it the devil's lettuce down here. And I told him, under my roof, this is not happening. Absolutely not.
Okay.
And maybe a month later, a box of bongs showed up at the doorstep, and he said, "Surprise!"
There you go, Sean.
Never did well with taking instructions, so
And I had some medical issues at the time, and Sean was like, Darby, you really need to look into what medical cannabis is doing for these people. Like, look in Colorado, look at these things that's happening. And eventually, he dragged me out to a trade show, and we met medical patients, and I actually got to see the industry. And I said, okay, I've maybe been told some wrong things growing up. Maybe this is something that I should look into. And I joined on kind of thinking, okay, I'll use this as an educational experience. I'll do it for a few months while I'm, building up my other companies. And I fell in love. I think that Sean really found an amazing idea. And when I realized the good that we could do, I had to do it. It called to me.
yeah. So long story short, we started carrying glass products online. We were in Georgia, so there was a lot of things we couldn't do. But we wanted to support the industry, and we wanted to make an impact here in the city that we were. And we hired a lot of local students, people that were really enthusiastic about the industry. And we focused on product education and customer service.
Yeah.
And people seemed to like it. So,
and we wanted to stay in Savannah. I mean, at the time we were both going to college, and so we kind of stayed for convenience. But after that, we realized that a lot of our coworkers and classmates had been up and leaving because they were like, okay, Savannah is just a tourism town. There's not necessarily any stable, high-paying, long-term career jobs. Yeah. And we were like, okay, well, what if we can create that? What if we could do that for this city that, has given us so much? And the people here we really love and feel like that the community has been a big part of our success.
Yeah.
So we got to stay.
I mean, you just said that you were the first to do this. You were founded in 2014. Am I correct with that? You guys were founded in 2014. Can you explain what you mean by the first? Because when I think of a head shop, I think, because just looking back, like for more than 4 years, I've seen like
Yes, the traditional brick and mortar head shops.
No. I feel like I've seen. So have I never been able to get a bong online?
You have. You have. There are a few European-based competitors that have been around for a long time. Perhaps you remember Operation Pipe Dreams, which was what, 2009? 2003,
a while ago, yeah.
Which was with Tommy Chong. And there were previously US-based and Canada-based head shops, but after the Tommy Chong arrest, that scene completely died off. And there was only a few California, since California has always been very weed-friendly, few California shops, and it really reduced to the brick and mortar shops. And there wasn't many online shops who would say, hey, you know, here's us, this is what we're doing, we're very proud to be doing what we're doing, here's the true story, here's what we're selling it for.
Yeah, for years, and in fact, I think still today, we're one of the only online head shops that actually has our names listed in the About Us page.
Or photos of our team.
Yeah, you know, so.
Yeah, so what do you attribute to the rapid growth? Because it has only been 4 years, and you guys, you obviously are doing well into it, but you guys, you just recently went public and everything. So to what do you attribute that? As an online company, was it? I mean, you tell me.
I think for us, it's been our unwavering customer service dedication, in conjunction with the growth of the cannabis industry as a whole. We had the great fortune of having many happy customers who love to tell their friends about us, and so through sheer word of mouth and
I get you every time.
Through organic traffic.
And I also think our own team. I mean, I think Sean and I have been fairly open about a few times that we've really struggled. Early on, we experienced some issues with credit card processing and navigating that difficulty. And we were really lost. And we looked at our team for support and how do we get through this? We can't let these people down because they, give us so much. And our team was like, okay, well, we're a family. We're going to figure this out. We always figure this out together. I tell people often, how do you solve a problem in business? You just ask your team, because that's what your company is. It's a collective of your teammates who are solving the problems every single day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay. So how do you now, or you're out, you have a strong team, you guys are building, you're obviously making strides. How do you go about just solidifying your position kind of as a brand? Because I mean, it is growing, the industry is growing rapidly. I mean, it could possibly become saturated at some point.
Absolutely.
As aside from customer service, I know you guys have A1 customer service, obviously I've witnessed it. What do you see being your differentiator, moving forward? What's going to keep you guys exclusive, the leading force?
This brain.
Hey now.
No, and
you can duplicate that. You can have all the smoke shops and the head shops in the world, but you can't duplicate that brain. You're right.
In all seriousness, that's a great question, because I think a number of people are putting out a lot of different products these days, and it is getting more and more competitive, and especially as folks from other industries like the tobacco industry or the pharma industry are coming in, trying to make a mark in cannabis side, it becomes difficult.
Yeah.
So what we relied on is our information and our data analytics. I come from a very strong tech background, and so we've done a lot to really identify what the pain points are with our customers, with people's experience on the website, and being able to optimize those experiences, in identifying what the key problems are with certain products. And we have 2 in-house engineers, and so a great deal goes into both product education and product development. We're really trying to be the innovators in our industry and produce some of the most innovative products out there, and be able to bring them to market, because we know what our consumers are interested in.
We've been fortunate to secure a handful of patents on some of our products to really ensure that we are creating something revolutionary, something that we can be really proud of.
Absolutely. Okay. So tell me this. So you guys have obviously done something right, and being a new entrepreneur, I'm obviously intrigued by that. So can you tell me, just in setting out, what was your initial goal? What was your goal when setting out? It's okay, we're going to build this business. We're going to go public one day. and was that the goal? And then what's the goal from here? Like, it's like, and then what, and then what? So from day one, did you kind of see it going like this, or has it kind of like flourished into something that went beyond what you imagined initially, and how are you coping with that, if so?
I think initially what was so attractive about the industry is, I'd never really liked to do anything that I wasn't passionate about. And I don't think Darby is any different, So for us, when we looked at the industry and I'd done my research and said, hey, this is somewhere that we could really make a difference. This is somewhere where I felt that it was a social justice issue, especially here in Georgia for us. And we really wanted to do something that we were at least passionate about. And of course, we had great response from everyone that has been our supporter so far. We didn't go into it thinking that it was going to be the successful or anything, but, I think like as any entrepreneur, we gave it 110%. Yeah. And we're very fortunate to have ended up here, and we're going to continue to try our best. And we can't promise, magic and rainbows, but we can promise that we're going to work our absolute hardest. And I think I can say the same for our entire team here. So where that takes us is,
wasn't like he had this like performer and it's like by year 4 we're going to be, so it wasn't like
here is this and this.
So it wasn't that mapped out in that way, you wouldn't say? It wasn't kind of like down to this is my goal for month 6, these are our goals for year 1, these are our goals. Like, did you guys map it out like that and kind of tackle it in that way, or was it more of just like a organic growth to this place? Like, was it a plan for you here? Like an actual.
As my mom says, when you make plans, God laughs. Yes, I think that we've made plenty of plans along the way and aimed to steer the ship that way, but then we've seen a huge opportunity in the market, or one of our team members has come up with this phenomenal product creation idea that we think is going to be the next hottest product on the market. So we definitely have a roadmap. I think that we have values, which is really our dedication to progressing our company, our dedication to progressing our people, doing training, helping them reach their career goals, helping them reach their personal goals, and making sure that our products are truly the most top-notch they can be. And as long as we're hitting those 3 goals, we think that it'll take us anywhere.
What more can you like really ask for, right? That's the recipe for success. Okay, so now we get into the good stuff. Stuff that this is like, oh wow, this just happened. All right, so you recently you went public, and you're the first online head shop to do so. So again, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Can you please tell us like the 3 things? 1, what exactly does that mean? Why go public? Like, what are the benefits of doing that, and how did you go about like doing that for entrepreneurs who are eager to do so?
Yeah. So we'll just go down the list. So why, right? Well, the cannabis industry is very exciting. It's a new industry. There's a lot of great companies starting out, but
the green rush.
Yeah, but as a private individual, if you went to a store and you said, I really like this store and I want to, partake in some way and share in the store's success. Well, as a private company, you can't really do that. You can. I mean, if you're willing to make a considerably sizable investment and you can talk to the owners and things like that to join on. Yeah. But what we are so attracted in the public market is the ability for everybody, all consumers and all of our supporters and people who are even interested in investing in this industry to be able to do so in a format that they were used to. So, and that format is stock.
So it's an ancillary business, obviously, but were there any roadblocks, seeing as how, it is a part of, you're not touching the plant, but you are a part of a federally illegal business, kind of like on the
gray area.
You're in a bit of a gray area. So were there any roadblocks, or were there any difficulties going public with the type of business that you guys?
That's a great question. This is a really awesome question, because I think that's also a great highlight. So why we were able to do so. Currently you can't really find, let's say, a dispensary who's gone public because it's federally illegal in the U.S. The SEC and folks like that, you can't conduct an illegal business and still be a legitimate company. So what we do is different. We offer a means for folks to invest in the cannabis industry without being, while still remaining legally compliant, because we don't do anything. It's what's considered a leafless cannabis investment. So we don't do anything that touches the leaf, hence the leafless term. And so other that might qualify might be like vaporizer companies and things like that. But in doing so, we're an e-commerce merchant and we're a distribution hub. And we focus on products in this industry, but we do not do anything that deals with cannabis, the plant itself. And so we're completely above board.
So since that is the case, then it was kind of a little easier to just kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So then, I mean, I guess I'm intrigued by that even more. So I'm like, why aren't more businesses like doing that? Like, you know,
ooh, do we have the answer for that one?
Please do.
The process to go public is incredibly strenuous. There are extensive audit fees, legal fees, as well as compliance staff to be brought on. You have to make sure that all of your team's social media profiles are compliant with SEC listing rules, and then you have to make sure that all of your numbers and statements are completely up to date and go through third-party accounting testing and inventory testing to ensure that everything that you're saying is exactly as it is. And that's, you know, to protect the shareholders and also just to ensure that you're being truthful as a company.
The truth of the matter is that it's an expensive process. It's a process.
Ooh, storming over here.
And then everyone's out here.
It's an expensive process, an extremely arduous process that requires a lot of verified third-party folks to come in and look to make sure that you do have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. And you know, it takes a lot of work to be verified, and the reason is well, you know, it's to protect the common public and to make sure that it's a credible investment, which is why it's been so difficult and why so many
you say that it took for the process of deciding, okay, this is something we want to do, to getting it done. Like realistically, as an entrepreneur or a new business, like what can someone look to go public? Like what time frame could they kind of give themselves?
So they should probably look at over a year time frame. They should probably look 1 to 2 years for the full uplisting and to meet all of the proper SEC requirements.
I mean, it's a long road. Realistically, you know, we're still on that process. So there's still goals that we have set for the company further ahead, and we're still working very diligently to achieve those goals. But, you know, since the decision was made to go public, it was almost a year and a half ago. And so we are, you know, we've been preparing ever since, and I can tell you that before I went public, and the one difference is and after is that sometimes I'll now dream in spreadsheets.
I can absolutely imagine. So we touched on team a little bit earlier. Darby, you were talking about how that these are the people you look to. So can you tell us a little bit about, just as co-founders and business owners, just about building your team? And you also talked about, you know, staying in the community and kind of like offering opportunities there. So what role is social justice or diversity, or if there is any role that is playing, what role is that playing in your team building? How are you going about assuring that your team, you know, is going to take Smoke Cartel, you know, to where you foresee and beyond?
Well, I think you have to start by creating a place that people are willing to invest in. And for that, you have to be willing to invest in your team. We allow tremendous flexibility for our teammates who have, you know, worked very hard and put their sweat and tears into the company. I mean, you know, we have a teammate who recently, his wife had a baby, and, you know, he needed to take time off, but he still wanted to be in the office and contribute. So he has keys and he can come in to do his shift whenever he wants. We have very much an honor code system that we abide by, of sort of how you respect the space. We cook for our teammates every single day. You know, we have a rotating schedule of someone who's going to cook and prepare the meal, because we think that eating together and having that communication is really important.
That's cool.
Yeah. We also, you know, in Savannah, especially in Georgia, cotton and tobacco and prison, those are our big industries. So we have a huge issue with unfair cannabis arrests. So, you know, our team was like, okay, what do we do about this? And so we formed a nonprofit, and we now lobby for decriminalization. And we've actually succeeded in decriminalizing 3 cities in Savannah, in Georgia, Savannah being one of those. And so for us, it was really like our team said, okay, here's something that we need to change. If we're saying that we're this number one company, we also need to stand by this. Yeah. And so we talk about, what we can do to proactively go back. Sean is on the board of Code for America, and they just recently did a thing in California where they are retroactively going back because of Prop 64 and clearing marijuana arrests for people who no longer qualify for that criminal charge.
So in short, we feel very passionately about what we do. We stand by our values, and I think that folks who feel similarly or feel inspired by what we do often tend to give us the same level of dedication that we hope for in our team.
Absolutely.
So, awesome. So in actively building and saying, okay, I want you to be hired for this. I want you to be hired for that. What are there essential elements that you're looking for from team members that you feel like these qualities or, this will help to take us where we're going? Are you looking for certain backgrounds? Are you looking for what are you looking for in putting the dream team together?
I think the most important thing to remember is that you're never going to see the perfect resume. Always think about the growth potential of an employee, because the perfect person isn't going to walk in your door, right perfectly off the bat. It's your job to teach them about your company and the kind of behaviors that you're expecting, because I think all of us are teachers at the end of the day. But most importantly, Sean and I are college dropouts. We don't necessarily think that a college degree is the most important thing. We don't necessarily think that, a minor possession arrest is going to disqualify you for a job. We think that you have to give everyone equal opportunity and give them this chance to prove themselves. And the people who are willing to come in and say, I take that challenge, I accept, they're going to be your hardest workers.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So if you could give a hefty nugget of general advice, not necessarily about, online retailing or maybe, or head shops, but a nugget of encompassing advice for entrepreneurs interested in entering the cannabis landscape as an ancillary business. Practical. 2 or 3 things that are practical. This is what you really need to be doing that people don't tell you. What would you say?
Don't give up is kind of the easiest thing for me. If you have an idea and you're passionate about it, now is the time. Now is the opportunity. Don't wait. Just try to do something. Also knowing that people are going to fight you. Banks might fight you. Credit card processing might fight you. People might fight you, but don't give up, because what you're fighting for is important. And those who are willing to be stubborn end up succeeding. And,
proofread all of your emails.
That's practical.
And be professional. Represent the industry you want to represent.
Yeah.
Proofread. Make sure you're representing yourself. Awesome. Is there anything else that you'd want to share with the EstroHaze audience, either about Smoke Cartel, what you guys have coming up, what you guys are doing, anything about entrepreneur, going public, anything else, please share with us. Anything?
Well, for California fans, we will be at Cannabis Cup in the coming weeks. And so if you're around the California area, we'd love to see you guys.
Yeah, come check out our booth. Tell us that you came from EstroHaze. We'll hook you up.
Hey, listen, hey now, get hooked up, code EstroHaze, all right? Okay, Darby, Sean, this has been an absolute
pleasure. It's been wonderful.
Thank you.
Informative. You gave me what I was looking for, and I really appreciate it. Until next time, about the technical difficulties at the beginning. Until next time, guys, you have a great one.
See you soon.
Stay dry. I heard that storming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.